Why should anybody join us? Why should anyone subscribe to our ideas? Because currently, the only people that are involved in nationalism are people that are ideologically and philosophically in line with a set of principles of morality and of global or local model of living. If you do not subscribe to these views, you do not bother. You are a normie. You go to work, you pay tax. You complain, but you don't subscribe to any principle that is actually contrary to the current model. And how we are going to gather the support we need is not necessarily through outward political action. That will be in conjunction in the future with our growth. But the most crucial motivation for people to join us is self-motivation. They must be getting something that they're not currently getting. Now, in the early stages, that might merely be social circumstance or a community. But we must provide services to people. In order to grow, we must provide people with a better way of living. When you tap into the heart of the average Australian, you can see their concerns. And red-pilling people should not be a matter of making them aware of a great international financial conspiracy that's against us, or the JQ, or Adolf Hitler, or World War II, and who was right and who was wrong. Red-pilling someone is making them aware of the concerns that are destroying their standard of living. Making them aware, if they were not already, if it was only subconscious, that every year congestion and traffic is getting worse. Every year housing becomes less and less affordable. Every year our wages stagnate. The job I've been working for 2 years now, maybe longer, I don't think I've had a pay rise once. I think I've had a pay cut, to be honest. We lost some of our penalty rates. Unless you are growing and climbing a corporate chain, which some percentage of the Australian population subscribes to, labor is not increasing at the rate of inflation. And people can cite studies and say that it is, but the average person on the street doesn't believe it, unless they're living in a different world. And those people, maybe we can't touch. Maybe we can't touch the corporate types. Maybe there's more in this rotting society for them than there would be if they left it. And there are some people who have a vested interest, whether it be the boomers, or whether it be the corporate types, or the lawyers, or the professionals, or whatever. There might be immediate self-interest in maintaining the corruption. Just as in Roman times, there would have been people who were, very benefiting of the broken system. The majority of the Australian people are not. And if we want to tap into them, we must address their concerns. And their concerns, as a hierarchy, I would say, is things like housing, affordable housing, sending their kids to half-decent schools. They don't need to send their kid to a private school, but they don't want to send their kid to Tani or Werribee High School, where it's full of Sudanese or, diversity and multiculturalism. I will have normies talk to me, and in one breath they say, "Oh, I'm not a racist. I hate racism. I hate that my family friend doesn't like black people." And then in the same breath say, "I don't want to send my kids to that school. I used to send I used to go to Oakley Grammar or Oakley College, and, now it's just full of, Asians and Indians, and I don't want to send my kids there." In the same breath. And we must tap into this and say, well, our model for success, our model for the future, is creating a parallel society, creating a community within a community, okay, that is self-sufficient, that is autarkic, all right? And they might not understand these things, but it's how we put our ideas forward. As I said, marketing is the biggest issue for us. And that is, well, we're going to address housing affordability because we're not going to be in the cities. There's not going to be the same demand. How do we address jobs? Well, we must return to industry. We must, as a collective, have an actual industry, and we must specialize, and we must be able to compete on a global scale. Now, these things are going to be difficult, but if we can't do this now, How can we do it on a national level when we're in control of our own destiny? So this is the litmus test for us. Can we build a society that provides the housing, and I don't mean free housing, the affordability, that provides the jobs, that provides the schools, that provides the community, that provides a superior way of living, so that we can get the basics right and then achieve higher purpose? Because there's no point in doing what we're doing purely just for survival. That is a broken instrument. That is giving up. That's saying the only thing we have left is our culture and our identity. When we have so much more, our people can achieve so much if we rid ourselves of the moral and physical poverty that our people are in. If we can defeat the model that oppresses us, because it does, it forces us to live in smaller spaces further from the city. We spend more time in traffic. We get paid as a percentage, as the power of our dollar is concerned, and as the price of goods and services continue to go up, especially housing, we are paid less every year in terms of the power of our dollar. We are being slowly suffocated. And this international model is theft of our purchasing power as a people. It is theft of our standard of living. It is international socialism. International capitalism its implementation results in international socialism. It's an international transfer and balancing and evening and equalizing of standard of livings. And we have, or had previously, an excellent standard of living. And now we have a good standard of living. And very soon we'll have a fair standard of living. And then after that we'll have a poor standard of living. And then everything will be equal. And we must always relate. That's the most important thing with our marketing, is to be relatable and to be relevant to the concerns of the average person. If we can do that, we will succeed. And we'll do it together.